and today I'm here to review the new book, You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This just came out today, and I was so stoked to read this because basically the author did like a preface before the book saying that she really loved all those like 90 rom-com movies growing up, you know, 10 Things I Hate About You, Clueless, She's All That, even though I just watched She's All That recently and I realized it doesn't hold up as well as the other ones do, like just really not a good message. And there's even a line where she's like, I feel just like Pretty Woman. And I'm like, no 17-year-old should be saying that. But the main thing she wanted to really emphasize was that watching shows and movies like that, rom-coms that were so central and integral for a lot of us to, like, you know, growing up, the thing with that is that she never really saw mainstream, like, big main character rom-coms and teen coms and teen roms that featured black characters as the mains and as just not like the stereotypical side characters, and also LGBT characters as, again, not just like the stereotypical gay best friend or whatever. And especially you never really saw black LGBT characters. That was just like not a thing in these movies, and it sucks because it's like negating like a whole population of people that didn't get to see themselves portrayed and how they look and how they love growing up. And I really like that she took it upon herself to be like, you know what, I'm fixing this. It kind of reminded me of similar to Date Me Bryson Keller, which I reviewed a couple weeks back, and how that had a similar message of like the author never saw anyone who looked like him or loved like him growing up in these romantic comedies that he loved, and he was like, hold my beer, I'm writing it myself. So this book is all about prom, you know, everyone's favorite, except in the town the main character Liz lives in, prom is like the thing. She lives in, it was somewhere in the mid like west, like a very like kind of not rural, but like not like a lot is happening state, you know, like it's not New York, okay? And prom is like this huge deal. Like prom court is this big ordeal. There's all these like rules and regulations you have to follow to just be on the court, and Liz initially wants no part of it, like just no, like she's fine blending in. She had a bad experience with one of her former friends when she got called out basically for not fitting in, and now she just kind of lives in terror of getting like embarrassing herself, messing up somehow, making herself stand out, and then having everyone talk about her. So prom is just like not her deal at all. She's not interested. She doesn't want to be the talk of the town, like not her thing. She's happy blending into the shadows. That's where she's been, and that's where she's fine being. But what ends up happening at the beginning of the book is she gets into this amazing program where she can study pre-med, which is what she wants to do to become a doctor, while also still doing her music, which is another really big passion she has. And the whole thing is that she was banking on getting a scholarship so she could afford going to the school, since it is, you know, how colleges are. They mighty pricey. They want to take all our money. And she finds out that while she got in, she unfortunately did not get the scholarship, meaning that if she wants to go to the school, she's probably going to have to tell her grandparents, and they'll sell the house, which she really doesn't want to because her mom passed away, and she feels like the house is kind of one of the last connections she has to her mom. And she also doesn't want that stress on her grandparents because she knows they would do it in a heartbeat, yet they've already done so much for her in raising her and her little brother after her mom passed away, and she just doesn't want them to have to worry anymore about that or to sell their house. So her brother is the one that actually tells her that she should run for prom queen, because not only is prom a big deal in this town, prom queen, she wins $10,000, which I'm like, not bad. Like my prom queen at my school, I don't even know who it was, first of all. I barely remember voting. And second of all, I think she got like a plastic tiara and maybe a bouquet of roses if she was lucky. Like she definitely wasn't getting $10,000. Liz is reluctant at first because, one, like how could she ever win? She's just not popular, and there's people that she's going against that like their legacies, like their parents have won prom king and queen. They've been campaigning, they're popular, like she just doesn't think she could win. And also she doesn't want to be in that spotlight, but really it's her only chance to get this money and do it on her own without having to worry her grandparents. So she decides, along with her friends, that she's going to enter, and they are gonna make her win. Gosh darn it. And then everything just kind of goes from there, and finding out, like I said, this is like prom on like elevated, you know, like there's rankings, there's community service things you have to do, your GPA is taken into account, like it's all this kind of crazy stuff. Reading it honestly did feel like one of those teen romantic comedies. Like it screams for like Netflix or someone to adapt them, because it read so much like one of those movies, just like, again, a more modern version because it's not just like the white straight characters, because Liz is also LGBT, which also brings up a point of contention because she starts to have a crush on another girl that's running for prom queen, the new girl, who I love this new girl, guys. She dresses like how I dress all my Sims, which is how I wish I could dress, except I don't have the fashion taste for it. She's a redhead, which, like, redheads, amazing. Okay, just, I'm gonna say it. Her name's Mac. She's new to town, and she's just very different. She doesn't follow the kind of set rules that Liz kind of sets for herself, and the like school hierarchy where like you're supposed to blend in and not make waves. Like, she's not afraid to call people loud, she's not afraid to do her own thing and just literally march to the beat of her own drum. She's a drummer, so that's why that's a good joke if you've read the book. And yeah, they start to develop a really cute kind of flirtation that really, it took me by surprise, not how fast it happened because it was really cute, but that they got together a lot earlier than I thought they were going to get together, which not a bad thing at all, because I feel like one of those, like, as much as will they won't they is great, you know, and like you want to wait for that satisfaction and like that slow burn. It also sucks when like a couple only gets together at the end and then like you really only get to see them like truly be together at the end. So this, and similarly Bryson Keller also had like these characters, I mean, Bryson Keller was like unofficially, but like together before the end of the book, which I really, really liked. And what I liked too, aside from Mac and Liz, there was also like a really great friendship love story. And I don't mean like friends that fall in love. I mean like if you've seen like the half of it and like what that's all about how like your love story can be with a friend. There's also like a really, really great relationship she has with this friend that she had a falling out with, and they start to come back together and just be those best of friends that they were. And I really liked it. There's nothing like romantic about it, but they do have that kind of like just really, really tight-knit bond that you really predominantly only see in things between like love interest. So I really like to see it in a friendship because I think it's something that needs to be celebrated more, of being like truly like you love your friends, and like your friends can be just as deep a relationship as your significant other. Like, just because like you're not like making out with them and kissing them and all that doesn't mean like you can't have that emotional bond and stuff like that. And obviously like she's gay, she has a girl she has a crush on, her friend is a guy and has a girlfriend that he's really obsessed with, so like there's nothing like romantic about it or anything like that. It's just really solid to see two friends that are just completely and utterly there for each other. And I'm kind of hoping that her friend Jordan, he had like a somewhat storyline that wasn't fully wrapped up, and I felt like it was handled in a good way with his girlfriend Emmy, because she just like disappears at the start of the book. Like, she was like #1 for prom queen and she disappears. No one really knows where she went, and Jordan is very respectful throughout the whole book to be like, I'm not gonna, like, that's not my story to tell. So I feel like there's some stuff that we didn't learn, so I would kind of be interested to see a Jordan and Emmy book. I don't know if that could possibly happen though, since like this book was their senior year, so I don't know if maybe it would be like at the same time or maybe like after, like during the summer, but I think that would be really interesting because there's definitely a story there, and Jordan is such like a good guy that I really want to read more of him and Liz's relationship. So I could not recommend this book enough, guys. There is such amazing relationships in it that aren't just like the love story, which I really like, and overall it's about like self-discovery and being like, I deserve this. Like, even if I don't look like the people that have previously won prom queen, even if people are telling me that like I don't fit into the mold, like I deserve this. I deserve to get the crown because I've always had a crown my whole life, and people deserve to see that and see my awesomeness. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think there's great relationships with her friend. Like I said, her friend group is really awesome and amazing. Mac in her relationship is very cute. She has a nice relationship with her grandparents, and her little brother is just like, I love when siblings get along. Like, siblings fight, but like I'm so tired of reading siblings that like hate each other and hate each other's guts. I feel like you can tell oftentimes people who like write and they don't have siblings and people who do. And I feel like I don't know if Leah Johnson has a sibling, but she wrote it very well if she doesn't. So I feel like it's more of that kind of like, we'll tease each other, we'll get mad at each other, but at the end of the day we're always there for each other and we want the best for each other. So I really, really enjoyed this book. Could not recommend it more. It's amazing. It's also like shares the name with a Billie Eilish song, and I love that song. And the outfits for prom, guys, the outfits. I really want someone to draw the outfits that Mac and Liz wore for prom, because like the descriptions were astounding. Again, like way better than probably anything we could wear to prom, but again, they take prom so seriously that you're just like, of course they would wear like designer dresses, so it's not any big deal. But I would definitely give this book 5 out of 5 stars. If you have read it, please feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!